there's a new law, actually, which it's a law that I love. It calls for more transparency in how CEOs report their income. Before, they could report their salaries, but they didn't have to report their stock options and the money they were going to get when they in their pension plan. Okay, so but the salaries were usually minuscule compared to the stock options, so you didn't really have a good sense of what money they were getting at all. And so people would retire, and all of a sudden they'd be like, "Oh, okay, here's $400 million or $200 million," and people are like, "Whoa, where did that come from?" And it's because the law was rigged in a way that you couldn't tell when that was going to come about, and people got pissed as they should have. They should have gotten pissed decades ago about this. And the thing that really drove people crazy, and certainly drove me crazy, was when the CEOs of Pfizer and Home Depot retired. They both took home $200 million. I'm sorry, by the way, I got that story. Not retired, fired. They were fired for bad job performance. They performed their job badly, and they got $200 million to show for it. Man, that drives me nuts. So
just as a free bonus. Here you go. Here's just a check for $400 million. Have fun.
I mean, if you're listening out there, imagine that your boss comes to you and says, "Hey, you really screwed this job up. You're fired. And here's $200 million. Okay, I mean, if you got $200, you're calling it a good day. If you got $2,000, you're like, "Whoa, man! He said I screwed it up, but I guess I had something left over, and I got $2,000." It's happened to me in jobs, where we either all got laid off or I got fired for one reason or another, and they're like, "Hey, but it turns out because you didn't take your vacation days or whatever, here's like $1,200," and I'm like, "Booyah!" Right? That is like, that's like a decade of haircuts for me.
Daily haircuts at that.
Right, but these guys are getting $200 million apiece. So finally they changed the law, thank God. And now we finally see how much CEOs are actually making. And we reported it last week. We got the CEO of Occidental Petroleum. Again, he had a smaller salary, but once you looked at his stock options and his pension, et cetera, we found out that this year alone he made $415 million. Okay, now if that doesn't drive you crazy enough, on top of that, for a lot of these CEOs, and here I got another one that was over $100 million. Kenneth Lewis, CEO of Bank of America, also with the stock options, made $100 million. Then on top of that, they get to travel on the private jets, and they get the limos, et cetera. And I get that if they're going for business use, and they're going to a thing, and they don't want to wait on the plane, time is money, da-da-da-da. Okay, I got it. But they're also using it for their personal use, for vacations, etc. So, what the company's doing is they cover for their personal use as well. They're like, "Oh, just go ahead and use the private jet." Some of them are, $144,000, $200,000 for use of the private jets, etc. Christy, and then the part that drives me crazy is on top of all of that, then what they get is they have a tax obligation. They say, "Okay, well, you use the private jet, you use the limo, you use the security, you use this, and this, and we covered it for you, but since we covered that as income, you have taxes on it. But you know what? We'll also cover the extra taxes on it for you." And let me give you a CEO here. Note Baert, if I'm pronouncing his name right, the CEO of Quest, had $197,000 in tax write-offs for the perks. So the perks were so much he had to pay $197,000 in taxes on the perks, but the company covered that as well.
You're kidding me. They said, "We'll pay your tax bill," basically.
Yeah, now imagine that too. I mean, this is what drives people crazy about the CEO situation, right? Is that, can you imagine your employer saying, "Hey, this is what I'm going to pay you, but don't worry about the taxes. I got you covered."
Right. I'll handle that for you. You're talking to the girl, too, who yesterday was weeping at 7 p.m. trying to get through TurboTax to get her taxes in on time. So I'm not having a whole lot of sympathy right now for CEOs who have the company take care of both doing and paying for their taxes.
Chrissy, we got about a minute, but I want to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
Can I ask how much you paid for that TurboTax?
It was $50, something like that. $58.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
Now, admittedly, this Irani character, the CEO of Occidental Petroleum, his taxes are a little bit more complicated. But you know how much he paid for his accountant?
80. No. I'll say $5,000.
He paid $556,470. But, of course, he didn't pay it. Occidental picked up the tab. They gave him $415 million, and then on top, they gave him $550,000 for his accountant to do the taxes on the $415 million they gave him.
That's pretty incredible. Those must have been some really complicated taxes.
I've never seen an accountant bill like that in my life. Wow. I mean, he blew all the other ones away. So look, guys, at least some of these guys made a lot of money for their companies. That I understand more. The ones that lose the money for their companies and then get this kind of money, that's what drives us crazy. But thank God they at least changed the law on this.